All right, Baruch Hashem, we're live Thursday night, double class. Sorry for the late start if you're watching live. It's been a busy day, and it really is challenging to get a class out every single day. Baruch Hashem, it's just for 30 days. People are asking me, why does it have to be 30 letters in 30 days? It should be 365 letters in 365 days, and just do it every day for the whole year. And I would love that, but it's pretty intense. Anyways, yeah, it's very meaningful. I wish I could share with you more of the personal stories that I am privy to. And that's just the stuff that I know about, where people actually reached out to me and told me their personal stories. But it is incredible. Truly, truly, I mean, I guess you have to believe me when I tell you this, that you can really see Divrei tzadikim chayim v'kayomim lo'ad, how the words of a righteous individual are eternal, because like the way that people are connecting with these letters right here and now is really wild, like astounding. Actually, I'm not a person who's easily impressed. If anything, I'm a bit cynical. Yeah. Okay. Now I teased you with all that, and I'm not going to tell you any of the stories, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get permission at some point from some of the people to share some of these stories, and maybe at a Fabrengen, maybe at the Yud Aleph Nissen Fabrengen. Now I'm teasing the idea that there might be a Yud Aleph Nissen Fabrengen when we learn our 30th letter. And maybe it'll be at the SoulWords house. Maybe, God willing, the SoulWords house will be up and running. You know about that. Half a block from the aisle, SoulWords house, which will be a center for gathering and Torah study and good deeds. Okay, at any rate, let's jump in to tonight's letters, plural. We have two letters. Thursday night, we do a double letter. A letter for tonight, no letter for Friday night. Yeah, as has become our custom, I'm going to give some tzedakah, because the Rebbe said the best way to give him a gift is to do some Torah study and to do some charity together. Okay, let's do get the Kol Chabad Pushka app. I'll put the link below if you're watching YouTube. I'll also put the PDF link below if you're watching YouTube. Also, do yourself a favor and subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe. Just push the button right there and turn on notifications. That's another button. And then every time we go live, you'll know automatically. Okay, we're going to give a little tzedakah. I didn't have my sound on, so you didn't get to hear it. Hold on. Turning my sound on. Awesome. I also want to mention that tonight's shir of double letters is dedicated to a personal friend and a friend of SoulWords and a friend of the 30 Letters in 30 Days project, my friend Rabbi Meir Schmuckler. So we are wishing collectively the whole community here, Meir Eliezer Ben Rezel Rivka should have a Shnas Hatzlacha today. Chof Adar was his birthday in L.A. I don't know if he's in L.A. right now, but if he is, it's still before Shkia, so it's still Chof Adar. So we wish him a Shnas Hatzlacha, a year of success in all material and spiritual endeavors, in revealed good, easy to see good, in his personal and public matters, and in all possible ways. Okay. Tonight's letters. Let's jump in. The letters are related in theme. They're not just related in theme, they're written around the same time. One is from Tesvav Kislev Tavshin Lamed Daled. The other one is from Zeis Chanukah Tavshin Lamed Daled. So they're written about 2 weeks apart from each other. And if you know recent Jewish history, so you know that the Yom Kippur War was Tishrei and Cheshvan of Tavshin Lamed Daled. So we're talking about 1973, the last few months of 1973. And there were a lot of casualties. There were many deaths and many casualties in that war. So many wounded soldiers, veterans emerged from that time. And I'm just mentioning that because that sort of sets the backdrop for both of these letters. I made a bracha earlier, but I will wish you all l'chaim, to life. And here we go. Baruch Hashem, Tesvav, Kislev, Tavshin Lamadal, Brooklyn, New York. Moras Ora Tichya Shafir. I don't know who Ora Shafir is, other than a Jewish mother. And I know some more details, actually. I shouldn't say that. She's a Jewish mother with a son that the Rebbe says she should be very, very proud of. And I know why, too, because it says so in the letter. Let's read. Baruch v'shalom. Baruch v'shalom is the customary greeting to a woman. I'm here by acknowledging receipt of your letter from the 26th of Cheshvan as well as the one preceding it. Seems like she wrote the Rebbe twice, and this would really be right on the tail of the Yom Kippur War. U be teguva al hascholos michtava harishay. Now, in commenting on the beginning of your first letter, shekeseves elai, that you wrote to me, bischus, that you have a merit, shehinenu b'nei mishpacha achas, that we are related, that we are relatives. Which is, what does that mean? Mishpachas Admor Azokin, we are from the family of the Alter Rebbe. Balatanya v'Hashulchan Aruch. The Alter Rebbe, Rav Shner Zalman of Liadi, who is the author of the Tanya, the author of the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so apparently this woman is a descendant of the Alter Rebbe. Apparently she mentioned that to the Rebbe in the beginning of her first letter to the Rebbe, perhaps even to sort of introduce herself and explain who she is, to give a context. Like, this might sound like a flippant term when you're writing to a Rebbe, but, Jewish geography, when two Jews meet, oh, who do you know? Oh, who are you related to? And you sort of give them a context. So she began her correspondence with the Rebbe by explaining that she is also a descendant of the Alter Rebbe, as is the Rebbe, a descendant of the Alter Rebbe. And this next line is just so powerful. I want to think, actually, he's not going to like that I'm calling him out, but Shaul Wilhelm from Oslo is the one who pointed this out to me and gave me the privilege and the opportunity to be blown away by this. Harei yeshna oid zchus gedoyle mezu. The Rebbe says to this Miss Ora, yeah, you are a descendant of the Alter Rebbe. And everyone, you have to understand the incredible, not just respect, but the awe with which the Rebbe regarded the Alter Rebbe. And the Rebbe writes to this woman and says, yes, you are a descendant of the Alter Rebbe. Yes, you are my relative. But you have a zchus much greater than that. Vihi, and it is, asher b'no shiyichya, that your son, may he be well. Hagen al amenu va'al artzeinu hakdeshim, defended our holy people and holy land. Va'al yedei zeh al achenu b'nei Yisrael b'chol makom shehem, and then through that, also all of our brothers and sisters everywhere they may be. There's at least two bombshells in that sentence. One is that the Rebbe tells this woman, you have a greater schus than the fact that you are a descendant of the Alter Rebbe and you are my relative. You have a greater schus than that, in that your son is a soldier and he protects Jewish lives, the holy nation in the Holy Land. The second bombshell, I turned on my notifications so that I would hear my Koilach Chabad Pushka app. Now I'm getting dings. I'm turning this off. The second bombshell is that the Rebbe says that because he's protecting the holy people in the Holy Land, then also by extension, he is protecting his brothers and sisters, Jewish people, wherever they are. And it's an incredible concept that by protecting Jewish lives in the Holy Land, that is by extension protecting Jewish lives everywhere in the entire world. It's also a remarkable concept. A little bit of transparency. I think I'm pretty clear about the fact that I grapple personally with how much commentary to give and how much not to give. You guys have not been helping me because I've been getting friendly comments in both directions. Some people are like, I love how you just read the letter and you explain the letter and you don't give personal commentary. Then some of you are reaching out to me and be like, don't hold back, give personal commentary. We want to hear your Verbringen, right? So I'm so conflicted, but I think I'm going to err on the side of caution and not give my personal commentary. But what I want to try to do is just like fill in context without. It's not my job here to editorialize or to create a verbal essay on the Lubavitcher Rebbe's approach to the Israeli army. I don't think that's even appropriate here. I think the context is we're reading a letter that the Rebbe wrote to a person. And that letter is a window to a relationship. And that letter, which is a window to a relationship, is also an opportunity for us to learn a perspective. So without having to get into a whole discussion of the Rebbe's stance on military service and the army, and let's just say this. Here's what we know. The Rebbe is writing to a mother of a soldier and conveying words to her of such pride, of such admiration, like the fact that your son protects Jewish lives, and also just the way that Rebbe frames it. What's his schus? His schus is he protects Jewish lives, and not just. And also, this is important. The language that Rebbe uses. Amenu and Artsenu HaKadoshim. So Amenu, our people, and Artsenu, our land, Kadoshim, holy. So our holy people and a holy land. Those who are discerning will pick up on the language that Rebbe uses and the language that the Rebbe does not use. And for me to be more explicit than that, I think is editorializing. But here's what we know. The Rebbe is conveying the greatest praise and language of admiration possible to this mother, that she should be proud of her son because of what he has done to protect Jewish lives not only in the Holy Land, but wherever Jewish people live. So that itself is, I think, if we can just absorb that idea, it gives a lot of clarity. It sheds a lot of light. Okay. V'hiratzein, it's a short letter. V'hiratzein, may it be Hashem's will, asher zchus ha'amura. This zchus, this above-mentioned zchus, this above-mentioned merit, which the Rebbe said is a big merit, bigger merit than being descended from the Alter Rebbe or being related to the Rebbe. This merit, ta'amid lai, should stand up for your son, should basically protect him. V'lechaveirav shlita, and his colleagues, his friends, meaning the other soldiers. Bechol hamitztarech lehem, in everything that they need. Ulachol lareish, and first and foremost, what should this merit bring them? What should it convey to them? First and foremost, oimetz ruach, a spirit of strength, of courage. Refuah ve'hachlama, recovery, healing. As I mentioned, there were many injured soldiers. So refuah here is in the literal sense of people who were injured. And by injured, I don't mean a paper cut. I mean people, God forbid, missing limbs, maimed, crippled. V'histadrus toiva b'chaim toiv mechol hapratim, and that their lives in all their various aspects of life should be set up well, should be organized well, should go well. Al Yesoid Signin Michtavi, Michtava, I think. Uvarucham. Based on the tone and the spirit, the signun and the ruach, the tone and the spirit of your letters, Arsha la'atzmi, I'm permitting myself, a very interesting expression, I'm permitting myself, lichtev gam li bena shlita, to also write your son. May he be well. It's very interesting. The son did not write the Rebbe. So the Rebbe is explaining why he's initiating contact with the son. So the Rebbe is saying to the mother, listen, the way you wrote to me, I kind of feel like I have permission to reach out to your son, even though he didn't reach out to me first. Can you believe that? Like, again, no commentary, but just reflect upon this. The Lubavitcher Rebbe is a busy man, and he is looking for an excuse to be able to start a correspondence with an Israeli soldier, to become pen pals. I mean, if that's not too coarse of a way to explain to phrase it, but the Rebbe is saying, I hope it's okay, but the way you wrote to me, saying to the mother, to Miss Ora, the way that you wrote to me, it makes me feel like I have permission to write your son. I'm going to write to your son. Can you believe that the Rebbe desires contact with this young man? Okay, Hamitzur V'zeh, and that letter is included here in this envelope. V'tikvasi asher lamres hapetza v'hakev v'chulu, and it is my hope that in spite of the injury and the pain, okay, he's an injured soldier, yiskabel amichtav baruach shenichtav, that he will receive the letter in the spirit with which it was written. Meaning, I understand that your son was injured. I understand he may not be in the mood for me to reach out to him, but I hope that he will receive my words in the spirit that I intend them. V'yiratzin asher yekumu yekaimu bivna kol habrachas ha'amuris b'mich tovi. May all of the blessings written in my letter be fulfilled for your son. V'chol habrachas ha'noivis milei v'achenu b'nei Yisrael b'chol makom shehem. What poetry! And all of the blessings that flow from the hearts of all of our brothers, the Jewish people, wherever they may be. The Rebbe says it's so poetic and beautiful, these words. May the blessings that I've written in my letter be fulfilled for your son, and the blessings that flow from the hearts of all of our brothers and sisters everywhere. The good wishes, the positive feelings that Jews everywhere have for your son, even though they may not know him, they don't know him as an individual, but all of that positive regard should flow to him and take the form of blessings. Just so beautiful. And again, if we can just absorb that without Shais Taub having to make any commentary, just absorbing the clear love and respect and deep admiration that the Rebbe is conveying in this letter. With blessings for good news and all of the above mentioned, and also regards to your husband, may he be well. And with wishes that he, meaning your husband, I don't know what this is referring to, but your husband should have much success in his esteemed responsibility, his position of responsibility. I don't know what that was. Okay. That is letter number 1 for tonight. Okay. Very powerful, just extremely powerful. The tone of that letter, the language, some of the language there is just very moving. Yeah, okay. Let's do letter number 2. L'chaim again. This is seltzer, by the way. I'm not chugging vodka or anything over here. Baruch Hashem Zeis Chanukah Tovshin Lamed Daled, Brooklyn, New York, Shalom Avracha. Now this is to a man. It's written to a man. And this is Zeis Chanukah, so the last day of Chanukah. So this is like 2 weeks after the previous letter. Written to a different person, but again, with the background of the Yom Kippur War just having ended, and with the many injured. Okay. Hineni mashe kabbalas michtave v'samachti lekosve al dvar hatavis briusei. I'm acknowledging receipt of your letter, and I'm happy to read. I was happy to read about the improvement in your health. Okay. From context, what is the improvement of health? It seems that this person is himself a soldier, and he himself was injured. In fact, he was awarded, I forgive my ignorance, I don't know what it's called in America. It's called a Purple Heart. When a soldier is injured, that's the award that he's given, or the medal. So whatever the equivalent is in Eretz Yisrael, the medal for being injured. Okay. That's clear from context. I'm going to read on. You're going to see that that's what happened. So God willing, your healing should be rapid and it should be complete. And that means in the simple sense, in the most literal sense, you should return to your full strength. You know, like you were never injured. You should be completely healthy, completely whole. Okay. Umuvan asher loy yugra al yedei zeh mahatziun l'shevach sheniten loy ba'ad hagonose b'chayif nefesh al am hakodesh be'eretz hakodesh hagona b'gufei mamish. It's understood that your recovery that Rebbe was just referring to, you should completely recover, like become completely healed without any trace of previous injury. That recovery does not diminish from the medal of honor that was given to you for your putting your life on the line. That's literally, nefesh means putting your life on the line, risking your life. For Am HaKodesh Be'eretz HaKodesh. Again, similar language as the previous letter where the Rebbe referred to Amenu V'Artseinu HaKadoshim. So over here it's similar. Am HaKodesh Be'eretz HaKodesh. The Am and the people, the Jewish people, and Eretz HaKodesh, the land. So both of those concepts. So here's what I was saying. You should have a complete healing. Your complete healing will not diminish from the medal that you were given for laying your life on the line to protect the holy people in their holy land. Kavanosi la inyan b'signon chamenu zal, and what I'm referring to is to use the language of our sages, miut chelbi v'dami. It's an expression, miut chelbi v'dami, means the diminishing of my flesh and blood. The original context where this is used in rabbinic literature is usually talking about fasting, that fasting grants atonement because similar to the sacrifices, which animal sacrifices are bringing flesh and blood of the animal on the altar. So when somebody fasts, they don't have food to replenish their flesh and blood, and so they're burning off flesh and blood, similar to burning flesh and blood on the altar. So the Rebbe says that you literally lost flesh and blood on the battlefield. Shenigram al yidei petza hapetza v'chula, which was caused by your injury. Shezeu mesiras nefesh b'poil, which is actual mesiras nefesh, actually surrendering yourself. V'lei rak b'rotzen b'keach, not just the willingness to do so. It talks about in Tanya, every Jew has a willingness to be mesiras nefesh that's implanted in the soul. It's in the DNA of the soul. That's the inheritance from the patriarchs. So the Rebbe says, but I'm not just talking about the potential to do it, or the willingness to do it. You actually did it. You went out there and you endangered your life in actual fact, and were also injured in the course of doing so. So the Rebbe says, the fact that you're going to heal from that, and your healing will be complete without a trace of ever having been wounded, will not diminish from the medal of honor that you were given. Now, this merit that you have, that you have to really translate this word. Shehikriv midome means that you brought forth your blood, but also it's the same word as a korban, as a sacrifice, as an offering on the altar, meaning you were makriv, you brought forth yourself as a sacrifice. It's powerful language. Al am hakodesh be'eretz hakodesh, again, the Rebbe uses that term, the holy people in the Holy Land. That will continue to exist. That schus will continue to exist even after your complete healing. And that schus, that merit, will stand you in good stead in this world and in the next. You follow what the Rebbe is saying here. You might think, well, I was injured, I gave something up, so in replacement of that, I have a schus, I have a merit. But if I were to be completely healed, and to the extent where it was like I never got injured at all, then I guess I would lose that schus, because one was in the exchange for the other. It was, sort of like a barter. And the Rebbe says, no, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have the best of both worlds. You can have the merit of having given your flesh and blood for your brothers and sisters, the holy people in the Holy Land, and you can completely heal and be intact and whole just like you were before, and not lose the schus, the incredible merit of having given your flesh and blood even after your flesh and blood heal. Again, a very beautiful and powerful imagery. Now, if this is true with the medal, they're not going to take your medal away. Again, I'm calling it a Purple Heart because I'm an American boy. That's what we call it. They're not going to take your Purple Heart away when you heal, when you become as good as new. Even if it's lying in a chest somewhere, it's like tucked away in a drawer. Your schus is not diminished because you were given this award. So how much more so the I wouldn't translate it so much as award, but this special quality. Tzion means how you are set apart in a special way by having given your flesh and blood. We said that a bris. In your blood, or with your blood you shall live, with your blood you shall live. The Rebbe says it clearly, that this merit of having given your blood for the holy people in the Holy Land, this will continue forever. Even after you have a complete healing to the extent where there is no trace. Bli reishim means there's no trace of your having been injured. You're not going to have a limp. You're not going to have a scar. You're going to be completely intact, and it won't diminish the incredible merit that you have. Again, you can have your cake and eat it too. Beautiful concept. You know, again, I without elaborating, but just trying to savor the sentiment here. We don't have to cling to suffering as a trophy. We may have to go through certain amounts of suffering, but in the end, we can be triumphant, we can be healed, we can be recovered, we can be restored. And that doesn't diminish the incredible value of that time when we did have to make a sacrifice that did cause us a loss. But even later, when we're intact, and that's the ultimate goal, is to be completely intact, is not to be diminished. There's no pride, there's no nobility in being wounded. I mean, it's not a dishonor, obviously, to be wounded, but my point is, as far as identity, I don't have to cling to the remnants of my victimhood in order to retain the merit of being willing to sacrifice myself. I can become completely healed and reinstated and retain the merit of having gone through a loss, even though the loss becomes completely made up for. It's such a powerful idea. It really is. I mean, you could read this letter very quickly. Oh, the Rebbe is writing a wounded soldier and telling him, I hope that you get better and you have a lot of merits. But if you slow down and you unpack it, it's such a powerful concept that you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have the best of both worlds. You can have sacrifice without sacrificing anything. You can get everything in the end. You can be whole. You can be complete. It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. What can I tell you? God willing, may it be God's will that with good health, brias haguf, brias hanefesh, gam yachad, both physical health and spiritual health. Yizker v'yisaper niflois Hashem unisov. You should remember and speak about Hashem's wonders and miracles. Ubematzav shalom al pi hamiyoyed v'nesati shalom ba'aretz ushchavtim ve'ein machrid geimer. And you should do so in a state of peace, in reminiscent of the words that are written in the Torah. I will grant peace in the land, and you will lie down, and none will make you afraid. V'yisalachem lelakim, I will be for you a God. V'atem tiuli la'am, and you will be for me a people. These are the holy words of the Torah, promise to the Jewish people. Bechoved u've'bracha, with esteem and blessing. Okay, two powerful letters. Wow, just soak that in. Just think about that. Yeah, okay. Good Shabbos. We will see you, God willing, Motzei Shabbos, for another letter. And thank you. Okay, good night.